Okay, I'm Roger Wakefield, and I'm just a plumber. And I want y'all to remember that because we're talking about roots. And my roots are I quit high school the middle of my junior year, and I got a job plumbing. But before I go into my story, I want to take a minute and thank Jessica for doing what she does right here in Lima, Ohio. Because 2 years ago, I probably didn't even know what Lima, Ohio was. No, but you're wrong, it is. It is very special. But it's because of the people, it's because of the community. It's because of people like Jessica that believes in it and brings people in. But I also want to thank y'all because y'all are the reason every one of us speakers are here. We don't just decide to come to Lima, Ohio to see if anybody wants to buy whatever we're selling or talk about whatever we're doing or to get new subscribers or anything like that. We come to town because we love helping people. And as a plumber, that's what my roots go back to, helping people. So before I tell you my story, anybody who's got YouTube, go ahead and pull out your phone. And I want to show you what I'm going to teach you today. Pull out your phone, go to YouTube, and search plumbing. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you my story, but when you search plumbing, if you have to, you can scroll down a little bit. We've done this about 4 times in the last 2 days, and nobody needed to scroll. It was the very first thing that popped up. So I want you to look at it, and while I'm going through this presentation, I want you to think about what if you could put in whatever niche or industry you're in, and you came up, like I just did, on plumbing. So yes, I'm a plumber. That's what my life looks like sometimes. It's not always like that, and that's really not me in the hole underwater like that, but I was in that same situation about the age of 19. I was standing in a ditch filled with sewage up to my waist, and I'm bent over, and I am trying to put a connector, a Franco gasket, on pieces of pipe, and I'm having to bend down, I mean, like sewage water's up to here, and I'm down here doing this. And at the time I thought, you know, it can never get any worse than this. But it can. Because a few years later, many years later, I'm running a plumbing company and I can't get the phone to ring. And when you've got 7 families, which come to about 30 people, depending on you, you've got to figure out how to make that phone ring. So that's what we decided to do. Now, all my slides are really thumbnails. And this is something that on YouTube is what gets people to stop. This is a stop sign. So when you're scrolling through YouTube, looking at these thumbnails, this is the stop sign. And then the title is what opens the door. If somebody scrolls through and they look at your thumbnail and it gets them to stop and they read that title, that will get them to open the door. Now they'll come in and watch your video. But I want to tell you about a little bit before that, part of my roots. I walked into a conference because I had lost $47,000 on marketing companies. I paid $47,000 to make my phone stop ringing. Imagine your business right now. If you just wrote a check for $47,000 for nothing, what would that do to your business? So I had been talking to other marketing companies about social media, and I remember one of them telling me, tomorrow's National Pizza Day. Go make a post. Other than the way it exits your body, that has nothing to do with plumbing. So I go to a social media marketing conference in San Diego at the age of 54. Absolutely, great conference. At the age of 54, I'm going to learn social media. At the age of 54, that's Facebook. Because that's where 54-year-old people are at the time. So I thought. And I'm walking down the corridor, and there's a placard, and I'm looking at it, and I'm reading it as I go by, and it says, get in front of your customers using video. And I thought, wow, you know what? We've made some videos. We could do that. So I go in, and I sat right down towards the front. Actually, I'm on the front row, right in front of the podium. And this guy walks out, and he says, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. I thought, this guy's stupid. He does not know anything. YouTube is just where I store my videos. And I shut my notebook, I put my hand on the chair next to me, and I start to turn around to get up and walk out. In the back of the room, there's people just standing along the wall. So slowly I turned back around and I looked up at him in time to hear him say, and it's owned by Google, the largest search engine in the world. And I thought, what? Why don't I know this? And I thought about how much money did I send to Google for ads? And I thought, get this, why aren't I sending money to YouTube? Later I found out that YouTube would send money to me for making these videos. So I learned a lot that day, but I didn't learn everything. But people always go back and they say, Roger, what is the one thing? And that's what I'm going to talk about today. What is the one thing that you learned or you did or you found out about that changed your life? And it's implementation. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that more in a minute, but y'all heard some amazing speakers yesterday. A lot of them. So remember, number one, if y'all like my speech today, my name's Roger Wakefield. Make sure to tell Jessica. If you don't like my speech today, my name's Owen Video. Please tell Jessica. And I want to straighten something up real quick. Owen talked about his transplant yesterday. Talked about Istanbul, Turkey. I was there with him. See, Owen invited me to come over for this transplant. Said, oh my God, dude, you're going to love this. So I go over with him. We go to the doctor, go to the hospital, wake up the next morning, and all my hair's gone right here. See? So he said he lost his passport. I took it. I never wanted to see him in the United States again. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. So let me ask y'all a question. Why do certain people grow on social media? Anybody? Any good ideas? Consistency. Very good. Opportunity. Didn't hear that one? I'm deaf, but we're good. I have HOH on my forehead, says hard of hearing. I know y'all won't believe it. Guys, here's the deal. The people that grow on social media walk into conferences like this, they learn something, like sitting on the front row at Social Media Marketing World, and they walk out. Now, at the time, my business was struggling, so I had to leave the conference early. I had a radio show in Dallas the next morning. I'm on the plane in the middle of the day Friday, didn't even get to stay for the keynote and wanted to really bad. But I get on the plane, I've got my tray table down, I've got the one next to me down, I've got my laptop, my iPad, my notebook, and all the little notepads that they give you. And I'm going through all my notes. I'm coming up with a plan because my business was about to shut down. Now, hopefully, none of y'all's businesses are about to shut down, so you're here to learn something to help you grow. But we're going to talk about implementation and why it's important. And sometimes I have no idea why we make some of the thumbnails we make. But today, I'm going to teach you how you can win on YouTube. And these are literally just a few things that I look at and put together and think, if more people would do this, more people could win and grow on social media. So first of all, what are you here for? One of my coaches, Dave Jenks, used to talk about when you take a class, when you go to a conference, when you sign up for something, what do you expect to learn and what is it going to do for you? So what are you here for? You came to this conference for a reason. What is that reason? Are you looking for a magic bullet? Are you looking for something new? Are you not doing social media but you want to do it? Are you doing social media but you're like, man, this just isn't working? There's a lot of different reasons and you've got your own, but you need to think about what you're here for. Whenever you leave here, you're going to walk out with all this information. And it's like drinking water out of a fire hose. You can try to do it all, and nothing's going to work. Or you can focus on something and say, look, we're going to do this first. That's what I was doing on the plane. That's what I did Saturday after the radio show. That's what I did Sunday after I dropped off my ex-wife at home and went back to the office. For 3 days, I put together an implementation plan. So first of all, you've got to be consistent in whatever you do. So if y'all want to write down the W, what are you here for? Consistency. You've got to be consistent. Owen talked about a calendar yesterday. Create your calendar. Understand what you're going to do, where you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, what the purpose is behind it. But consistency is big. There's a lot of people out there say, help me make a YouTube video. You help them make a YouTube video. They make it and it's like, gee, it didn't go viral. This doesn't work. Yeah, that's true. But if you're consistent, it can. Create that calendar. Stick to it and understand that calendar is created for a reason. And I like what Owen did yesterday. You create your long form video, you take pieces of it, short snippets, repost them in other places at later dates. And the good thing is, only about 7% of your posts are actually seen by most of your subscribers, followers, connected people, and all that. So to be honest, you can do it all again in a year. And most people are either going to say, wow, I've seen something like this before, or they've actually never seen it before. Part of what you should be here for is your community. You've got customers. Turn them into your community. Create Facebook groups. Create a YouTube following. Create an Instagram following. Do different things like this. Katie talked yesterday about email lists and capturing emails. If you're not doing that, I've got a link I'll put up at the end. There's a product called Go High Level that I'm trying to introduce to tradespeople because tradespeople don't know how to market or advertise or talk to people or anything like that. So it's just a product that helps them do that. Next is I, instant success. Y'all write that down. How many of y'all would love to have instant success right now? Okay, right next to that, write down, that shit doesn't happen. The I stands for implementation. You have to implement. And when you're done today, maybe you already did this last night. What did you learn that you're like, if I did this one thing, this could change my bottom line? Because if you'll start with that, if you'll do something that can change your bottom line, make your bottom line grow, improve it, make it better, you're going to be able to be like, wow, you know what? Now I can afford that help that I needed to help me do this. Now I can afford to hire that company that's going to help me do this. But guys, this takes work. It's not an easy button. It's not just you sign up. I mean, I've put courses together, but I get people that jump in the course and they're like, I got to shoot a video? And the answer is yes. Unless you have another product. I showed this to Owen yesterday. I'm working with a lady who's got a product that makes a video that looks like me. Owen, does it look just like me? Owen knows me. Owen's like, that's really not you? So there's products out there. And guys, remember, we've talked a lot about AI the past day and today. This is as horrible as it's ever going to be. And I've got AI right now that can fool you. I've got AI that can make you think, that's Roger. And it's not. So there's tools coming that if you're saying, look, I cannot get in front of a camera and shoot video 10, 20 times a week like Roger does, you don't have to. Or what if you're already a content creator and you're like, man, look, I'm pretty much maxed out on everything I'm creating, but there's a new software that literally you can stand in front of a camera for about 2 or 3 minutes, tell somebody why you started your business, how you started your business, the story behind your business, whatever it is you want to tell. And you can video that and you can send it to this lady, this company, and they can take that and now you can go in and script your entire course. It can make that course for you and you never have to stand in front of the camera. But to do all this, guys, you got to start. You have to look at something, and that's why I say, look at something that will increase your revenue. Because if you can increase your revenue, you're going to be like, hey, I see why. I see why this works. I see why Roger talks about it. I see why Roger travels around the country and teaches people about what he does. I see why all these speakers come in and teach you things about what they learned that has grown them and helped them. Pick one thing. There's some amazing stuff. I took about 6 pages of notes yesterday. And Chad laughs at me because I do. I sat down front. I pull out my notebook. I'm here to speak. But I can learn so much from all these different speakers. And I hope y'all are doing the same thing. So what this does is this becomes your new top of funnel. I have taught people how to do this that are in the magazine business. I've taught people how to do this that are in the self-publishing business. I did this exact same thing for myself. So I'm one of these people, one of these companies that like, look, I don't just tell you how to do this. I've done this. Just a few weeks ago, we hit 110 million views on YouTube. 110, thank you. 110 million views. That's crazy. So when I'm listening to Bryce talk yesterday, and this is the way my mind works, extremely analytical. When I'm listening to Bryce talk yesterday about being in front of 30,000 people and hearing them scream and yell and knowing that you're doing something for them, I did the math real quick. That's the way it works. 110 million people divided by the 6 years that I've been doing this, Bryce would have to do like 10 shows a day or something to get in front of as many people as I have. And you can get in front of people and change their life. One of the best ways to do it is create evergreen content. And this is something each one of you, and Mr. Beast has even said that, every business in the world needs to be doing YouTube. Period. Second largest search engine in the world. Nasha's going to talk to you later and tell you about TikTok, which is another search engine, which luckily, and I'm good about this, I give people rides from airports. Owen, Judy, don't I? Drove to the furthest airport from my house in the Dallas area, picked them up to carry them to a conference, knowing I could have great conversations and learn something. So when I flew into Columbus, I let the team know, hey, I'll be driving from Columbus, so if I can do anything for y'all, give anybody a ride, let me know. So I got to spend a couple hours with Mike and Nisha, and it was great. But create evergreen content. Are you a specialist at what you do? The book, The Dip, by Seth Godin. In the beginning, it says, if you're not trying to be the very best, why not? Guys, try to be the very best at what you do. Become a specialist. As a plumber, I specialized in slab leaks, leak detection, whole house water filtration systems. I learned to specialize in things that a lot of people in my area weren't doing. We had fun at the event center last night. They're doing things other people aren't doing. I started to make cookies with my face on it and give to every one of y'all. I'll stop there. Never mind. That was so cool. And wooden flowers. Okay? They're doing cool things. And I sat at the table and talked to them about an event center, mine that I'm building, but also one in Miami. And they're like, wow, that would be cool here. What can you do different? What can you specialize in? I started out on social media 6 years ago. On the first week of April, 2018, I started doing 3 videos a week. And that's a lot of videos. And then a little bit later, we started adding live streams. It's a lot of fun too. But you can take that long form content, cut it in pieces, and repurpose it in different areas. So really, the main thing now we do is make long form content. Teach somebody to do something. Bring value to them. Create series. Make a video so good that they want to stay and watch the next one. Because if you can do that, if you can get in front of your customers through search, you become their trusted advisor. You become their go-to person. How many of y'all, when you searched plumbing, found me? How many of y'all, when you searched plumbing, found me at the very top? I want y'all to think about your business and think if somebody searched real estate, if somebody searched chiropractor, if somebody searched dentist, and if you could come up number 1 like that, what would that do for your business? I work a lot with the trades. I've told a few people here I'm building an event center in Dallas. I want to be able to do stuff like this. I want to be able to do stuff like this for trades. I want to be able to do stuff like this for social media people. I want to be able to do stuff like this for speakers. I get asked to come in and coach companies on social media, teach them how I do what I do or how I learn to do what I do. And guys, it's not hard. It's not hard to spend the time to get in and do stuff. And while you're shooting long stuff, you can think about your current viewer, your current short-term viewer, and put in shorts and clips and things like that. Put a statement in that you know, hey, I want to pull that out. I want to do this. And it's going to be wonderful. I lost $47,000 on marketing companies. Now I've got marketing companies that call me and ask me how to do what I do. I teach people how to do this. I've built courses for it. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I started an app. I'm in the middle of writing my first book of a trilogy. I'm building a training center to teach people. I'm traveling around the country speaking, and I've got a team at home making sure that we're still posting content every day that we're supposed to do it. But I do it because of y'all, the entrepreneurs, the marketing people, the people that are out there trying to make people's phones ring. I'm working on a new product with a partner called Are You Googleable? Which every person who's a speaker, a social media person, and every entrepreneur needs to know. Are you Googleable? Can you be found? I do what I do because I got tired of getting ripped off, and it cost me a fortune. And I don't want that to happen to anybody else. So what I've learned to do on social media, I try to teach other people. And it's not hard to learn. A lot of y'all went to college. A lot of you study marketing and advertising and things like that, and I never did. I quit high school the middle of my junior year. I got a job plumbing. I loved it. Luckily, I went back and graduated with my class because I was far enough ahead when I quit that I could. But I learned how to make my phone ring. I learned how to make my business grow. And my business grew so well that I sold it 2.5 years ago so I could do social media full time. And thanks to one of my coaches, because I started investing in myself, in coaching and training and mentors. But thanks to one of them, I retained part ownership of that business when I sold it, and we sold it again last December. And I got paid about as much then as I did the first time. And I've still got part ownership, and the plan is to sell it again. And I tell you all this because I'm uneducated. I've learned how to do these things. Literally, when I came home from the conference, I got on YouTube to learn how to do YouTube. And I made a lot of mistakes. But eventually, I found and hired the right coaches, the right consultants, the right trainers. And I know that any one of y'all can win on social media. Now, I know we don't have time for questions, but I'm here all day. I'm here tonight. But I want to leave you with one thing. You're at a conference where you're going to learn a lot of things. If you don't implement, if you walk into your office tomorrow morning and you go back in and start doing the same things that you're doing, you're going to come back here next year and say, maybe I'll learn something. But to be honest, you learned it this year. When you're done today, go through your notes, start highlighting, start marking, start doing whatever you got to do. And I know that any one of y'all can do this because I did it. And I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm just a plumber. Thank y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen.